Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Hello! Shadowcat back with more Star Trek Cosmoteer. And last time we were here, we started working on a new ship. And that new ship is the Invincible. Now, the reason we're doing this is because we're coming up against ships that are just, they're dedicated killers, okay? They're way out of our league. Our ships are not purpose-built for destruction. And so it's time that we made one that is. While still doing our best to, remain within the confines. And so I have settled on the Invincible, which is essentially just an Akira class, a very, very large Akira class, with a complete secondary hull that functions as a carrier. Now, we don't have fighters yet, but we're going to go ahead and use that secondary hull to fit a whole bunch of stuff in. So, what did we get done last time? Well, we got more or less the saucer section done. And so we did that by making the two halves, port and starboard. And from there we adapted the front. We started with the front actually, but then we had to adapt the front to fit port and starboard. And so far it's coming out okay. I am a little concerned with the large vulnerabilities up front here. I do find this very concerning, since it only really has shields to stop it. However, this thing reportedly has, and let's just go over the specifications again. It has 24 phaser arrays, 12 forward triple-mounted pulse phaser cannons. Ours are only going to be double because that's all I've got. I mean, I don't really have any options here. That's it. That's all I can do. 12 rotary triple-mounted pulse phaser turrets. That would be these things. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them here on each side. So that's my 12 turrets. They're all on the saucer. That might not be the smartest thing to do, but it's what we went through and did. So there's those. It has 18 torpedo launchers, 12 forward, 6 aft. And here we've got, in groups of 4, 4, 8, 12 forward torpedo launchers already set for quantums, because that's what this thing usually packs. And then it has 18 phalanx arrays of mini torpedoes. So I made these photon torpedoes, and there's 9 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that took a while. We also got some empty space in here that we can fill with stuff, mostly crew, because this thing wants an ungodly crew. To that end, I have made a change. I have taken the limiters off of crew. Our crew is no longer bound to our fame, so we can get as many crew as we need now. We're going to need it for a ship this big. So, we still have to continue building the ship. We still have to build the secondary hull. We have to get the nacelles in. And we need to add in another 6 phaser arrays, and another 6 torpedoes. And interestingly, I have moved the bow of the ship pretty much all the way up to the top of the map because we're going to need all the space. Because it only comes down to here. And the secondary hull does come almost all the way down to the end. However, well, no. I was going to say, maybe we should do the nacelles first. No, we're going to finish up with the, we're going to finish up with this. Now, interestingly, because it is a flight deck on the back of this thing, the secondary hull is square. And so we may be able to use that to our advantage. We're also going to need to get some engines in here, too. And engines might be somewhat easy. Looking at it, looking at the picture, the saucer is pretty broad, secondary hull pretty narrow, it's what you would expect. It looks like the secondary hull is more or less just the size of this, the central area. And so, if we wanted to, we could come in here like, say, this, and just come down. And that should be it, more or less. Now, we gotta smooth this out, but that's okay. We're gonna smooth it out by putting engines in there, and this thing is gonna need a lot of forward thrust. It's gonna need a lot of backward thrust too, but it's gonna need a lot of forward thrust. So, why don't we take a look at engines? Of course, we're gonna go with the advanced impulse engines, and right there is a good place to start. Although I do wonder if I could do better, maybe. I kind of want to see if I can fit 3 engines in there. Alright, before we do that then, let me see how well I can actually arrange this. And to do that, I'm going to come over here to armor. And let's go like that. Put another one there. Put one there. And then we can bring this in. Just like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we're going to want to go ahead and armor plate this. Just to make it thicker. And after doing that, does this still fit in here? Actually, it does. That still fits in there like that. I could do this. We could make them double wide. And you know what? I think that'll be fine there. We can leave the throughput right there in the middle. And we can add some additional engines on the back. I think that'll work. I think that'll work nicely. We'll do it that way. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to close that in. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this all the way down. Like that. Okay. Now that this is all filled in, why don't we actually go ahead and fill. There we go. And now it's all one big happy floor plan. So far the only thing we can afford over here is the steel. I mean, that is why we're building on the wreckage of this this starbase. That was the whole reason. But we're going to need to get so many more coils. It's going to be crazy. I may actually have to make an entirely new ship just for... Well, no, I don't even have to do that. We can use the space station to hold large quantities of materials. So, why don't we, Are you back here at the station already? Let's make sure that we're buying whatever we can get our hands on. And I do mean everything. So, yeah, buying is this column. Well, why did that gray out? Just buy all the stuff. Buy everything. Do we need more storage? Oh. Looks like we might actually need more storage. Okay, that's fine. This is easy. Storage. More storage. And we can even do that again. Oops, not that one. There we go, fixed it. And we'll get a couple of smaller ones here. Nope, that's not going to fit. Okay, never mind. We'll leave it like that. But there, now we got a ton more storage on there. Boom. Go nuts. Buy whatever you want. You want coils? Buy coils. You want hypercoils? Buy hypercoils. Buy all the things. We're gonna need it. Okay. And it probably still won't be enough, but you know what? It's fine. We're gonna make it work. Anyway. I may have to adjust the size of this. Yeah, we can make this a bit wider. And the reason being is I want to have it at a bare minimum. 2 layers of armor. So that should be good for that kind of, or that solid double hull. Now, in the back, like I said, we're going to need to have 6 phaser arrays and 6 torpedoes. And space is kinda at a premium. Also, this cannot move, so we still need to get the warp core in. And as far as the warp core goes, there is this giant core that could be fun. We've never used one of these before. I think right there could be good. I even like the windows in the back of it. Go ahead and make sure that those doors go right through there. Lots of doors. And you can only enter in through the north and south, so there we go, lots of doors. Doors are good. Alright, so that should take care of power for this whole thing. Now, as for back here, essentially we just need to have some phaser torpedo combos. And so that should be pretty easy, I think. So we're just going to want something kind of like that. And then either forward or behind. Oh, I think we're going to want to go with behind on this one, and I'll explain why. We'll need to have a controller, but then we're going to need to have ammunition. Nope, like that. Delete those. So we're going to need to have the ammunition, and after that we're going to need to have the additional shields. So there, and it'll need to have its own power source. So we'll grab just a regular fusion power source. And that makes a pretty good block. Now, it's going to be a little bit awkward getting in there because you'll have to go through the power, through the controller, through the phaser array itself to get in here. But that should work. And then this will have to be open. However, this little module here, we should be able to just easily... First I want to copy it, actually. Yeah! That will very easily just slide right in there. There's only enough room for the inside and the outside, though. Keep it to the inside. And then we'll need 2 and 3. And then those can go away. And on the outside here, we can put maybe things like active defenses. So if we come back to defenses, we can go to... We can get dual point defenses. And put those in there like that. We're going to need to have doors all along the inner corridor. And... yeah, right there is fine. We can't do that with the other power cores because of the torpedo launchers, but that's okay. And so we stack everything up there, and we've got volleys of torpedoes going back. These are going to be quantum. And for that matter, let's just go ahead and do that with the rest of them. Perfect. All right. And that should be sufficient there. Which does almost fill the entire thing, so, I mean, that's probably a good place to go ahead and stop that. But that should take care of all of our armaments. That means that we have 6, 12, 18, 24 phaser arrays. Check. 12 forward-mounted phaser cannons. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Check. 12 rotary triple-mounted phaser turrets. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Check. 18 torpedo launchers, 12 forward, 6 aft. That's 4, 8, 12 forward, 2, 4, 6 aft. Check. And 18 phalanx arrays, torpedoes, 9 port, 9 starboard. That's 3, 6, 9. Check. Excellent. Now, we need to have nacelles. We need to get ourselves some nacelles. And we can also further armor plate this back here if we need to. But for the time being, this ship is massive. I see no reason not to use the most massive torpedoes that we have. Or not torpedoes. The most massive nacelles we have. That being the 3x9 nacelle. So I'm just going to pick a spot over here and start building it, and then we'll move it into place. And the nacelles are about the length of the saucer section, so... Actually, maybe we should start up here. Yeah, maybe right here, actually. Alright. We don't need you. Go away. So let's just go ahead and take this all the way up. Okay, not off the grid. That's just crazy. But this will give us an idea of how big this thing needs to be. Okay. So that is going to be our nacelle, which is huge, but we'll make it work. I mean, I wonder if it's maybe too long. Is it too long? It might be a little bit too long. We'll figure it out. As a matter of fact, why don't we do that right now? So let's just select this whole thing. Now that we've got it scaled, kinda. And it's going to go right about here. Give or take. Say right there. Okay, yeah, that is way too big because the forward part of the nacelle should only come up to about the engines. Now, of course, I'm not scaling this exactly either. I think the secondary hull should be longer, really. But I only have so much space to work with. So, we're going to go ahead and grab that. And we're going to cut it down to about yay big. And that should be good. Now, first things first, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up in some armor. So we're going to do this. Perfect. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it that way. I don't want it to be that blocky because it should come to a nice kind of tapered point. There we go. That's better. And now, it does get a bit bigger towards the front where the Bussard collectors would be. We can do our best to replicate that. Okay. And it does actually come to a rather narrow point, about the same width as the aft section, or the aft part of the nacelle. So, let's see what we can do there, since we know that it's going to get pretty big here. And I would say that the maximum width towards the front is about double what this is. So if I was going to go ahead and do this. Oops. Don't want to do that. So if that's the front, and that is 5 wide, then we'd want it to be about 10 wide, so either 9 or 11, because it'll have to be an odd number. And let's just go with the 9, so we're going to want to expand this. This is 5, 7, 9. And I'm actually going to use a smaller angle piece. we go. Now, it doesn't really plateau there, but I'm going to put some single blocks in there just to smooth things over. And then we'll use these. Maybe not there. Yeah, maybe back there, actually. It doesn't look exactly right. I think I'll go ahead and maybe stretch this out a little bit more. So there. Oh, go away. I'm working right now. I'm creating. Go away. Thank you. Okay. And then we're just going to fill this in. And it's not perfect, but it doesn't look as bad as it could be. I can only do so much. But okay, that'll work. That will work. Now, naturally, inside, I'm going to put a whole bunch of storage. Because normally this would be filled with warp coils, but don't really have that right now. Although I do wonder if I should put some additional armor plating on it. The cells do tend to be rather vulnerable. Maybe. I mean, even the Excelsior has double armor plating on the nacelles. So, maybe if we do this and run up a secondary... This is not helping the overall silhouette. But it does make him look a little bit more chonky, and chonky is pretty good when you're getting nuked. So I guess we'll take that. Oh, another thing that we could do is add some additional shielding. I wonder, what would it look like if we did that? So we could put some shielding in here. And then, if we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we could go there. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. And the reason I did that is so that we could still put storage back here, in between them. Oh, it's already there. So there, that one's already in, and I guess I did not measure those well. That's okay, I can just shift everything down. And we'll just say cut and shift. And then the front here, we can go ahead and just add a little bit more armor, because it's gonna need it. Alright, that'll give additional shield protection on the side there. We didn't put any active defenses there, just passive defenses. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take these dual point defenses, I'm going to point some of them outwards. We'll keep the ones on the back facing that way. And in fact, we'll go ahead and double up on the ones facing backwards. That should work. Now, because we have so many of these security shields layered, it should give us a bit more durability, I hope. I'm also going to take the corners off there. It's fine. It'll be fine. Now, as for... because these look pretty good. These look pretty good. As for the pylons, I don't really have a whole lot of good landmarks to go by. But I'm thinking maybe right here. So what if we were to grab this entire section here and simply move it up by 2? And then we'll just fill this in. And we'll do this. Now, interestingly, they're not equal. The contact point on the secondary hull and the contact point on the nacelles are not the same size. So, if I was going to do this, I would probably do it like this. Yeah, something like that, actually. So, go ahead and grab this. And I would go like that. Oh, wait, no, I think I got that backwards, I think. This is the one that needs to go down sharply. And then the one up here is the one that would have to do that. Yeah, there we go. That's the ticket. Perfect. Do I really want to make them any bigger? Not really. I think that should be sufficient. So now he's got to plug these on. So we're going to cut, bring these down as far as we can. Just right about there. Slide it over. And contact. And there we go. Locked on. Now we just have to open up access. And I actually had these backwards. Yeah, like that. Perfect. Because then these go like that. There we go. Pretty much just like the picture. Now, one of the things that I am a little concerned with is the amount of armor this thing has. I kind of want more. These things can be recessed a little. So if I did that and added on just another layer of armor, going forward, just use the small ones to fill in. We'll fill in behind those as well. We've got shields to protect them a little bit. But I would just feel a little better with more armor on here in general. Was that a 3 long? That was a 3 long. So that goes like that. And now it's actually conflicting with the nacelle. So we'll have to go like that. That's fine, though. It'll work. That means there's, like, no gap there, actually. So they can't shoot between them. Now, something that we're still missing is retro thrusters. And we probably are going to want to have some maneuvering thrusters around here, too. Alright, we got some big ones up there, but we'll probably want to have at least a couple of big ones down here as well. Problem there is that there's not a whole lot of room. We may have to give up a little bit of space in here. For example, if we were to grab the thrusters, how much... They need a lot of space. Yeah, that's not going to work. That wouldn't work either. What about the next smallest one? That could work, actually. I could even come in that far. In fact, I could even do this. And if I do this... it means that we're not doubled up on the aft point defense, but it will give us the maneuverability we need back here. Or at least it'll help with the maneuverability. Alright, so... problem that I'm seeing is the fact that these are accurate pylons, but I don't think they really serve our purpose that well. I think I'm going to have to scrap it. It's not a bad design, it's not the worst design, it's just, it's not convenient to what we're doing here. Since we're locked into just, you know, straight lines, this is not working. Okay, that's fine. Here's where we're going to get a little creative. Okay? So, we're going to delete this. We're going to keep the walkway, we're going to keep the pylon in the same position. But, we're going to do things a little bit different. And so... I will go ahead and fill that in. And we're going to have to move this. And we're going to end up grabbing a piece of the ship too. It's okay though. I'm just going to put this over here. We'll grab this. We'll put it back. We'll grab this. We'll put it back. Okay. What I am thinking is that I want to have something kind of like this. So that'll give us our retros and everything else. But it's going to need to have some protection as well. So if we did that and then put this between them, we could do that. And then it'll need to have power. So we can put that right next to it. And then we can just surround this with some armor. That's not the worst looking thing I've made. Although it's probably a contender. but it will work. It will work. And that spot right there doesn't necessarily have to be armored. We could put a point defense turret there. And that'll just give it a little bit more defense. Yeah, the proportions on this thing are like really wonky. But let's put this thing back. And it should plug on just like that. And so this will give us a total of 8 forward impulse engines, 4 for reverse, which is not a bad ratio. It's got about half power backwards. The shield back here will help break some fire coming in, but it's not going to help too much. The only other thing that I can think of would be to install, or to move everything one more to the side and put in a big shield generator. But that might be a bit too much. Yeah, we don't actually have any of the big bubble generators. That is something we just don't have. The other ships have it, and they do work very well, but we don't have it on these. We just have the small ones. And we've been working on layering. By the way, we're up to 914 recommended crew. I don't know how we're going to fit that on here. We're going to be really squeezing people in wherever we can. Let's go ahead and just get a whole bunch of doors in here. There we go. Looks good to me. Now, these shields on the outside do not have power sources, so they are not going to last very long. These are not meant to take a big beating. We will keep them online as best we can. When they fail, that's it. Not worried about it anymore. But there it is. This is a monster. Which is good, because it's going to need to fight monsters. Alright, so let's work on a couple of things. First things first. Yeah, turn off symmetry. Because we're going to need to have some production on here. Specifically, we're going to need to have an antimatter converter and a torpedo launcher. We can put those right there. And that should be good, because there's a lot of torpedoes on here that need to be worked on. And just go ahead and fill that in. Or give it all the doors. Just all the doors. Okay. Next, we can turn sentry back on for this. We need about 1,000 crew. Now, every single one of these residences gives us 36. So, if I just get my calculator out here and do some quick math, 1,000 crew divided by 36 is... we'll round up and just say we need 28 of these things. I don't know how we're going to do that. But I guess for starters, we're just going to do it like this. So that's 180. Where else can I fit them? Can do that. Could plug them in here too. But I don't think that's really helping a whole lot, is it? Yeah, maybe. If we turn them around, we can have these be a walkthrough. Or do it like that. That puts us up to 432. Pretty far cry. We can put another one there. Another one there like that. That puts us up to 504. But we're going to have to start getting creative here. I want to say creative. This is actually 9. So we could do it like that, I think. Kinda. That we may have to do that just because it's the only way that's going to work. 504. $504. We didn't really gain anything doing that. Okay. Well, we're going to do what we can. We'll do what we can. Back here, I can squeeze in a couple there. And pathways through this ship are going to get real interesting real quick. These quarters, I can squeeze a couple of quarters in here. I can even put a quarters down here at the end. Actually, I can do better than that. I can put in a quad bunk here at the end. You have to walk through the turret to get to them, but you know what? At least you're getting to them. Speaking of twin bunks, I can't put that there. But I can do that and still leave a walkway through. Because to get to here, you go through the turret, through the magazine, through the torpedoes, or through the phaser array, and that's how you'll get through in there. We're up to 582. Where else can I squeeze these things? Up front anywhere? No, not really. How are we going to do this? So the barracks do have, like, a bit of a problem in that they have one side that's completely blocked off. It does mean that the barracks are kind of better because these have entrances and exits on all sides. Mean that I could squeeze them in, say, here. And it doesn't really affect anything. I can do the same thing here. And if I swap sides over here like this... Yeah, that works out. Okay, yeah. I'm seeing some options here. This kind of works. Okay, and since we're already doing this up here... Oh, okay, that's fascinating. Alright, so I can flip these, actually. Oh, and now they plug into each other. Fantastic! That is perfect. That is exactly what I needed. Okay, now that those plug into each other... And you can just walk straight through them. I cannot put one there. That's not going to work. We're at 798 though, so we're making progress, okay? We're making some good progress. Now, the side of this is completely blocked, so this is where residences might come in. We can put a residence here. We lose nothing by having it butted up against the warp core. We put those in. That puts up to 942 out of a recommended 930. I think that's it. Now, let's look at doors, because we're going to need to have lots of access. So, to get to the warp core, you're going to need to travel through these residences to get there. The warp core, however, will feed pretty much directly to the shields, I think. If everything works right. Otherwise, I can just kind of shift the warp core up and put some plasma tubes in, and that should help. Okay. Now, they do tell you not to use a ton of doors because fire can spread between doors. But if we're on fire, we're already in trouble. So I'm not worried about that. Just more doors. Now, all of these barracks. No? I can't do that? I can do that. Okay, turn off symmetry then. Now I can do that. Perfect. So, we still need to have the walkthrough over here. That's good. So people will be able to walk through there no problem. This ship is almost ready to go. Almost. It still needs to have airlocks and fire extinguishers, though, and this is where we're going to just try and squeeze them in wherever we can possibly find room. So, for example, up here, this is all dead space on the walls. We can put airlock there and fire extinguishers there and there. And now it's a dead spot in the middle there. But that's fine, because we can go ahead and put an exterior light there. I mean, why not? So that gives us our airlocks, but fire extinguishers, we're still going to want more of those. And where can we fit them? There's no doors here at all. So we can put a couple of fire extinguishers there. That means that to get to this weapons array, you got to walk through the through the barracks to get to all of this. It should be fine though. I mean, once you're at your station, not a big deal. Go ahead and put some fire extinguishers there. I'm gonna get rid of that one. Don't need that one there. We can put fire extinguishers here, because there's no doors allowed there. Same thing for over here. We can put fire extinguishers there. Just in case. Like I said, I don't see these making a huge difference, but they're there just in case. Up here, man, if any of this goes up, it's going to go up like the 4th of July anyway. This all seems like a really bad idea up here. But I don't have any better ideas. We do have lots of shields. I just don't think they're going to last that long. And I don't have a way to really reinforce them any further than they already are. Alright, moving back. Moving back. Fire extinguishers. You can put some fire extinguishers there. You can put some fire extinguishers here. That's about all I'm really seeing, though. We can put some here. And we'll just move that door down there. And actually, I'm going to turn those. Come on, let me go. We'll face one that way, we'll face one that way. Should make access easier. So what else is there to do? Not much. So let's look at resources. We have all the steel we need. Coils. It needs 6,521. We have 1,418. So we need like 5,000 coils. How are we doing over here? We can buy another 2,000 of those. We're going to buy a whole bunch of stuff, actually. Including some antimatter. Okay, so that means that this ship will have... like 9,000 coils, I think? And about 5,000... No, wait, is that going... Oh, no, that's what it already had. So we got 10,000 coils, and we've got over 5,000 hypercoils. Okay, we should be good on those then. What else do we need? Okay, Tri-steel, we need 318. We've got that. Diamonds. No. Tri-steel, we need 1,060. We only have 318. Alright, so the red number is what we need. So we need 1,060. What do you have for Tri-steel? Ew, not much. We could send our mining ship to go find some. Yeah, we may have to do that. So, I'm sending the mining ship back there. And we'll see what else we need. Okay, Invincible. You need 75 diamonds. I think we can manage the diamonds. That shouldn't be that hard. Needs 166 processors. You have processors 42. And you have 15. That doesn't really bode that well. How are we doing on storage? Oh, we got plenty of storage left. So we need processors and tri-steel. We're good on coils. We need processors and tri-steel. And we ain't got either one of them. Or we can manufacture processors like... You're not full, are you? Let's take a look at the cargo bays. No, you're not full. If we can get you gold, you can make more processors. Can we buy some gold? We can buy a little bit of gold. And a little bit of titanium. We can refine that. A little bit of copper. Did I not buy it? Tri-steel. processors. Oh, there we go. Tritanium, gold, antimatter. Yeah, initiate the trade. And then, just for storage, let's go ahead and send a lot of this stuff over here to be held. So, like, all the tri-steel can go over there, diamonds, processors. All the manufactured materials can go over to the space station for now. Or for that matter, we can really send everything. I can send the iron over, we can send the copper. I mean, this thing is meant to kind of take over the job of manufacturing and storage. Alright, so we need gold, we need tri-steel. There just happens to be a gold asteroid right there. But if we have to mine everything, we would be here a very long time. So, why don't you take a visit back there? While we're mining, you can be en route, and we'll figure things out that way. We're going to make our way through the asteroid belt back to this asteroid field, where I think there's a lot of good resources. So we're looking for tri-steel, we're looking for gold. Gold is good. Not getting a lot of gold per asteroid, honestly. We don't need the iron. We don't need more copper. We've got more than enough coils. We're looking for those rare elements. And I'm not really seeing it. There's carbon. Although here I am calling carbon rare. Carbon is like one of the most common elements in the universe. Like carbon, iron, oxygen. Super common. Except for here. I see more and more copper. Lots of crystal asteroids, honestly. Most of them are small. But what can you do? I don't see anything necessarily here except for a small copper asteroid. We'll mine it. But we're here. We're at the asteroid belt now. And the space station is still en route. Okay, it wasn't built for speed. Alright, diving in. Should be good stuff here, right? Good stuff? Please tell me good stuff. I see crystal asteroids. Copper. A ship that we discovered earlier. There's a tritanium asteroid. We'll go ahead and mine that. There's also a dead ship over here. I wonder what I could get from that. Could be worth it. We'll come back to that in a second. Because that might be our ticket to some rare materials. It'll have advanced engines, advanced weapons, things like that. There's another small tritanium asteroid. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. What else we got? Not seeing a whole lot. Okay, forget the asteroids then. It's salvage time. Time to go to work. All salvage teams report. I want to just do like this whole area. As soon as it lets me. There we go. So burn this stuff away. Yeah, this was another one of those nuclear ships. Bane of my existence. Alright, Starbase Alpha is in range. Let's go ahead and talk to them. So we need tritanium. They don't have any. We need processors. They don't have any. In fact, they don't have a lot of things. We'll take that, though. We do need crew, though. And there's lots of people over here that want to join up. So we're going to take as many as we can. Doesn't quite fill our crew up, but... Oh, wait, hold on. They just replenished. We'll take one more. That makes us full. Alright, well, that was kind of a bust. So, let's go ahead and bring Starbase Alpha over here. It's going to be kind of a long trip for them, but they'll make it work. Looks like the storage is pretty full. Lots of coils. We're going to need all those coils. Alright, and you guys have stripped it. You stripped it clean. What do we got over here for things like processors? So, tri-steel, we got 100. Not bad. Not enough, but not bad. We got 25 processors. 5 diamonds. Things that I can live with. Kind of makes me wonder, what would we get if we scrapped this? Like, this ship is... it's mostly intact, but you know what? I'm not going to try and salvage this ship, so... scrap it. Swarm it, scrap it. We have a full crew, right? Yeah, we have a full crew. Go ahead and get the ship closer. That way people don't have to go as far. Everybody has to come back and get air at once. It's kind of funny. Alright. We're picking up more tri-steel, we're picking up more diamonds, we're picking up more processors, all things that we need. We may make this work yet. I'll have a better idea of what we still need once the starbase gets over to the construction site. And if we have enough, then we'll build it. And if we don't have enough, then we won't. Okay, though. You finished salvage operations, so I'm going to bring you back with Starbase Alpha. Which, I mean, you can outpace by a large degree. look at the space station just pushing everything out of the way. I actually do kind of look forward to the day when we make this thing even bigger. Although we're going to have to upgrade the weapons on it soon, because right now this thing is terribly armed. How close are we? Oh, we should be there shortly. Oh, right, down here. Well, it does say kilometers, but I wonder if that's, you know, like divided by 10, because space is big. Okay, let's take a look at what we got. So, we have the steel, we have the coils, we have the hypercoils. We're still short on tri-steel by a lot. We're still short on the diamonds by a lot. We're short on processors by about 50. We're short on enriched uranium. That might be something that we can actually manufacture, though. We're short. No, we're not short on antimatter. We got that. We are short on dilithium crystals. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna wrap things up here, and I'm going to go through and gather the rest of what we need. After that, we will build the ship, we will tow it back to one of the space stations where we can get a crew on board, and that might take a little bit of effort. But once we get a crew on board and we get resources on board, we get all the launchers outfitted, everything else, well, then it's time for field tests. And we don't really have any good things for field tests, but we're going to make it work. So, if you want to be there for the maiden voyage of the Invincible, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, that way you get notified when it comes out. If you know somebody else who's also into either shipbuilding or Star Trek in general, then share this video with them. But if you just like me and what I'm doing, then go ahead, leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below. I will see you next time for more Star Trek Cosmoteer. And until then, take care.